Vekic to get the second round match underway.
Love.
Konta won the toss and elected to serve, and maybe with those kind of returns you can see why. Third meeting between these two. Konta won their first last year on the American hard courts. But it was Vekic who got her revenge on the grass of Nottingham just a few weeks ago. Konta won that first set fairly comfortably and lost two tight ones, 7-6, 7-5.
Fifteen, 40. And 30, 40.
Vekic had a very tough opening match against a Russian, Natalia Vikliantseva. Seems to be every letter of the alphabet in that name, and that was a long three-setter. Over 2 hours it took her to come through.
Deuce. No advantage, Miss Vekic.
Donna was very much a teenage sensation. Got to her first tour final at 16, first title at 18, but I got overwhelmed with all the expectation and hype around her. But back in the world's top 60 and playing some of the best tennis of her life. And that is a very good hold from break points down. So good start for the Croatian number 3. Now, Kim, there's a certain Belgian connection with yourself and Johanna Konta's coach. There he is, Wim Facet. He's in the white. In the white. There's Andrew Fitzpatrick, her hitting partner, in the red. Tell us a little bit about Wim, because he was on tour with you for many years, and what you think he will bring to Joe's game.
He was my hitting partner for a few years, and he was actually a childhood friend. I trained with him when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, and he's not a very outspoken coach. He's not loud. He's a quiet. He brings peace into your team, into the camp. Although in the private time he jokes and he laughs, but I think on court he's quiet and brings calmness, I think, into the team.
Fifteen, love. 30 love.
And Sam, there's actually another connection with a coach of mine, Carl Maas, who helped her to get her British passport when he worked for the LTA. So there's two coaches that I've had that have helped her or are helping her.
There's a theme there somewhere.
Game. Miss Konta. One game all.
So both women safely aboard in this opening match on the centre court on day 3. Tall young woman at 5'10", very athletic. And like you, Kim, her father was a professional footballer.
Oh,
he was
really?
a goalkeeper.
I didn't know
Mum
that.
was a very good hurdler. Yeah, he played for the local team in Osijek, which is in the north of Croatia, pretty close to the Slovenian border.
And 15-0. And 30-15. Let for service.
Wow, they've started off at quite a lick here.
Yeah, they're both
40-15.
They both look like they've settled into the match from the start, and Donna here, that shot was so deep and flat and hard that it was very hard, I think, with Johanna's grip in that forehand to get it done in time.
Game.
Very assured game from this
Vekic.
young Croatian. And on serve in this opening set.
Miss Vekic leads 2-1. First set.
Kim, you were very good, very young, got a lot of press attention. Very similar in the way to Donna, but Donna didn't handle it. How did you manage it all, and how difficult is it? When we say, oh, she couldn't cope with the expectation, but in reality, how difficult is it to deal with all the attention?
I think a lot of it depends on your personality, and also it depends on the people you have around you. I never worked with a manager or management company, so the distractions that come after you do well in a Grand Slam for sponsors or photo shoots here and there is something that I never really enjoyed that, and so for many years early on in my career, that wasn't even a part where I wanted to put energy into. So I think that is definitely
quickly,
been a big help for me to just really stay focused on playing tennis and trying to improve as a young tennis player and gain experience.
Players are ready, thank you.
Great hitting in both balls.
The low 15.
Zhou opened up with a rather routine victory against Chinese Taipei's Shei Suwei. Just dropped the 4 games, a player that she'd lost to at the French Open just over a month ago. And Kim, I think the tennis gods have been having some fun and games with Zhou with this draw, because she played Shei, who she lost to very recently, and then the second round, she must have looked at the draw and thought, what, I'm playing Vekic, who I lost to a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so she has some revenge feelings in her
Big
system
revenge
at the moment.
But those tennis gods, they can be nasty sometimes.
When you play someone like Donna who likes to attack, straight on, with the return, you automatically put a little bit more pressure on your own service games, because you want to serve well, you try to make a lot of first serves. So this is a big point here.
(40-30). News.
Well, Donna certainly knows her way around London extremely well, actually. When she won the under-12 nationals back in Croatia after starting at 6 at her local tennis club, realised that she needed better training and better facilities, so moved to England to train in Northwood at the Junior Tennis Initiative with David Felgate, which is a name you might remember, former coach of Tim Hemming. Worked with David until she was from 12 to 19.
Southgate also worked with Xavier Malisse.
Another Belgian.
Yeah, another Belgian.
They're everywhere.
The advantage, Miss Konta.
They've got their tentacles all over the tennis world. This is high level, though, from both women. Very positive start from Konta, and it's needed to be. Vekic has come out here with real intent.
Let for service.
Just a little miscue. Konta able to hold. Kim, you've known Wim, as you said, since juniors. Is Wim short for anything? It's not short for Wimbledon, is it?
Maybe that might be a new nickname for him if she does well here.
So it's not short for anything?
No, Wim, that's it.
Wim. Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Love.
Great serve. You can almost feel that these girls have just played each other recently. It's like they know each other's game well. They know what to expect from their opponent, what to do. And it's like they just kept going since then.
Let for service.
She has a forehands that she missed in the previous game, and this backhand too. Like she's a little bit, her upper body is a little bit too close to the ball. She's not making enough space to let her arm just flow through the shot.
Oh, superb from Konta.
I love her footwork, how low she stays, and
30-all.
especially from where we're sitting, it's very nice to see the intensity from the return onwards, how low she stays almost throughout the whole rally.
(40-30).
Vekic very aware that she didn't get off to a particularly good start when they played in the final in Nottingham a few weeks ago. Dropped the opening set rather easily, but has started very well here.
Deuce. The advantage, Miss Vekic.
Wow.
Game.
Wonderful control from the young Croatian. Early doors on serve here in this opening set.
Leads 3-2. First set.
Kim, how difficult is it for you to, when you played someone just a few weeks ago and then you come into a match like this and you're playing them so soon? How do you keep all the memories from that match out of your head?
I think it works both ways. It can be easy at times because you remember the things that went wrong or that you did well, so you don't have to, specifically go back and watch videos of your opponent or anything, because you feel it. You know what it felt like when you played them. But I guess it also depends on whether you won or lost. I think for Donna, having won that match would have given her a lot of confidence, even a little bit more belief to step out here today and to really believe in her chances. I think for Donna that win is maybe a little bit more of an advantage today.
It's certainly a warm one. I hope everyone's taking on plenty of water or a few other beverages that I think are available on the hill.
Just quickly, please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Players are ready.
You'll see plenty of looks from Donna up to a player box, a full team in there, including boyfriend Stan Wawrinka. I think she wants to be known more for her tennis, though, than having being the girlfriend of Stan.
It's nice to see them support.
Yeah, I remember him watching a match of hers in Rome, and I think she played for about 3.5 hours, and he was there. He stayed right until the end. He's a good lad, is Stan.
15-all.
And I've seen her at the French Open going through all his matches, so
yeah, it works both ways.
It works both ways.
Well, you know what that's like, all the years with Leighton.
Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of 5-setters, long matches, but it helps. You learn a lot from it. So.
(30-15).
Both playing very good tennis.
30-all.
As Vekic has come out here with, as you mentioned, real belief and intent from that win just a couple of weeks ago in the final of Nottingham, one of the warm-up events for Wimbledon.
(40-30). News. advantage. Miss Konta.
Great finish to the game.
Miss Konta.
Another tough service hold for Britain's Johanna Konta.
3 games all. First set.
There's real sort of flexibility about Donna Vekic. I don't know if that's anything to do with in her early life. Did a lot of gymnastics.
Oh, she did.
Which is, I think, good preparation for tennis. You used to do the splits occasionally, didn't you, Kim?
Yeah, my mother was a gymnast, so she used to stretch us out a lot. I always said I had the strength in my legs from my dad because he was a football player, and my flexibility from my mother because she was a gymnast.
Yeah. Played.
(30-15).
Konta, smart move there. You might have just seen her just creep into the shade at the back of the court. It is a hot one out there. I think we might have a top of 27 degrees today, and they are really going for it out here.
Circumstances are like in Australia.
30-all.
We can do heat here, you know, Kim.
Yep.
It's unusual.
Net for service. (40-30).
I like how she steps in after a big serve like that. She stays in the court after she lands, and she almost like she knows that there's a shorter ball coming.
No, she's not going to challenge. Just wide. Margin's very tight in this opening set, but we're still on serve. Vekic leading 4-3.
Miss Vekic leads 4-3 per set.
It is super competitive out there this afternoon, but also in the women's game, particularly since you've been away, Kim. But been taking a look at this Vekic forehand, and you need a really good weapon now, don't you? Can you just talk us through why this is such a good shot?
Well, I think her shots automatically are flat and hard. So I think on grass that is That's a great combination to have, and it makes it very tough for your opponent. I'm actually surprised about the way that she's moving. She seems to be moving. To me, she seems to be moving better than I expected her to move. But her forehand, naturally, a lot of girls prefer to hit their backhand. I think they naturally just feel a little bit more comfortable hitting her backhand. But I think Donna is, she's really going for her shots. And like we said before, I think that match in Nottingham that they played really helped her to know where her game plan should be at, and to know that she needs to play aggressive tennis to try and beat Johanna out here today.
Well, speaking of gymnastics, you might have just got, as we were a little while ago, you might have just got a little glimpse of one of the greats, Nadia Comaneci.
Ready, thank you.
New balls.
Love 15.
There she is.
First gymnast ever to score a perfect 10. It was a long time ago now, I think 1976, 41 years ago. Multiple Olympic gold medalist and a big friend of Simona Halep, who's playing later on court 1.
Miss Konta in the corner, the right parcel line. The ball was called out.
Well, there are 12 Hawkeye cameras positioned around this centre court, all beaming down onto the mark.
First test.
Consents.
Donna looking very relieved.
Yeah.
Love 13. Miss Konta has 2 challenges
We need
remaining.
the technology. So Konta, just a little spot here on serve for the first time.
Low 40.
It's that pressure of the return that Donna puts you under. And in a situation like this, left 30, you know it's an important point to win. The nerves get there a little bit.
First break points on the Konta serve. Well done.
$15, 40.
That was a harem-scarum moment if you're a Konta fan, and for Jo herself, really held her ground well there.
Left for service.
There is the break, came off, so just 34 minutes.
Miss Vekic leads.
Vekic now in the driving seat in this opening set.
$15, love.
you serve for the first set or for the match, like in a big game like this, it's always nice to win that first game and to give yourself a little bit of a lead.
Let's passes.
It's a tough serve to read as well.
30-15.
Why is that?
Her ball toss doesn't change much, whether she goes out wide or whether she goes down the tee. It's almost like Lindsay Davenport when she used to serve in front of me. It was a very tough serve to read.
Well, she'll be very happy with that comparison right now. She'd just be delighted to take this first set. And she's got 2 chances to do so.
Move her around well there.
It really has been a helter-skelter opening set in terms of the pace that they started off with from ball 1.
When the tempo is so high, it's sometimes easy to just stay in that cross-court rally and just keep going, but it's so important to not do that, to just try and mix it up and move your opponent around, especially Donna, because it's not like she's the best mover out there.
Two set points saved by this very disciplined 26-year-old, meticulous in her preparation, seemingly dealing with all the attention and eyes on her over this fortnight, and particularly in the lead-up. Had such a great run at Eastbourne last week.
Advantage, Miss Konta.
Serving out for a set in this kind of arena is never plain sailing. And Konta a chance to break back.
Konta is also the player who's not going to give you anything for free. You're going to have to go, win your points, and she's so consistent that closing out a set or a match makes it even harder.
Miss Vekic turned the corner of the left center line. The ball was called out.
Not too many players like to challenge between first and second serves. They're always worried that it breaks up their rhythm. She must have felt it was in, but she was wrong. So it is a second serve. You're allowed 3 incorrect challenges a set, and you get an extra one if we go into a tie break. Oh dear.
I think she was hoping that first one was in.
Miss Konta. Miss Vekic has 2 challenges remaining.
Jo had a couple of break points in the opening game of the match, none since. And she's got another one here. And it is an immediate break back. And Konta stays alive in this vital opening set.
Miss Vekic leads 5 games to 4. First set.
Kim, Jo's had the most amazing 18 months. I mean, particularly winning in Sydney at the start of the year, big tournament at the beginning of the Australian summer, and then a tournament you've won, Miami, which is a huge event on the WTA Tour, inside the top 10, looking like she belongs there. But a couple of years ago, she was in the satellites, challenges. She was 150 in the world. I mean, have you spoken to Wim at all about this transformation?
No, not really, actually. But you can just see the confidence build over the last, 18 months, like you said, and she knows that she belongs up there. She's, like you said, she's very disciplined. She works extremely hard, and it shows. And she really knows what her game is supposed to be out there, and that's something that is important.
Time. Fine, just sit quickly, please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Players are ready. Quiet, please. Thank you.
Konta serving to stay in this opening set.
Love.
Takes a lot to shake Joe these days. 30 matches won on the tour, and we're only halfway through the year. That's not right at the top of the rankings for matches won, but it's not far off.
She really raised her level. The points were when she was set points down. She really took it to Donna Vekic and was even a little bit more aggressive, I thought.
Well, she is full of confidence coming off that wonderful week in Eastbourne where she beat Jelena Ostapenko, the French Open champion, and then the world #1, Angelique Kerber. Couple of aces in the game, made a very straightforward hold, and Konta levels up in this opening set.
5 games all, first set.
I just saw Donna throwing at the ball a couple of times. How difficult is it to play on the centre court around the middle part of the day?
It's pretty hard, especially also because on grass, holding your serve is so important. Yeah. And when the sun is in your eyes, it makes it even tougher to hold.
Well, she's down at the southern end.
15-all.
Yes, as if there isn't enough going on. The packed Royal Box and 15,000 fans and the most famous court in the world, and then you've got the sun to deal with. Oh, yes.
Stood so low to the ground in that one.
15-30. 15-40.
Well, what a response to looking at those 2 set points just a couple of games ago.
$30-40. Deuce.
Lovely change up.
She's hitting some good returns there. Very deep. Almost hitting the lines.
Advantage, Miss Konta.
Thinking very clearly under the greatest of pressures as Jo Konta here.
Deuce.
Right shot and wrong execution or bad choice?
No, I think it was an okay decision, but I just think she pulled her arm down a little bit too quick.
So more a problem on the execution front.
I think so, yeah.
Advantage, Miss Vekic. Miss Vekic standing the call on the left. Baseline, the ball was called in.
Well, the baseline is twice as thick as all the other lines. 100 centimetres wide. It just gives you a bit more of a chance of making it.
Yes. Miss Vekic
I don't know why that is. It's one of the oddities of a tennis court. Excuse me, 100 millimetres, not 100 centimetres.
She's done really well is attack that second serve
Advantage.
and open up into the open
Miss
court
Konta.
straight away.
Yeah, well, that return speed on the second serve has increased by 8 miles an hour for this match, and certainly over the last few Vekic service games. Break point again.
Deuce.
Such a big shot to fall back on if you can, in moments like that, you know, with a big serve and break points.
Advantage, Miss Vekic.
Yeah, they're not just watching this in the sunshine, fanning themselves out here on this centre court. They are investing everything in this contest.
Let for service.
Vekic really showing her mettle here. Hangs on in the longest game of the match so far, and on we go in this opening set.
Miss Vekic leads 6-5 in first set.
Just over in the northwest stand are the two support boxes of both players. Wim and Andrew there in the red, and Jill also in the red top, Jill Mybrough, her South African physical trainer. And Kim, there are just so many people these days in and around the tennis players supporting. It's just, I mean, they're actually going to have to build like a bigger area at some point. I mean, it's extraordinary, isn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen,
it is, and they just keep growing. There's a role for everybody these days.
How many did you have in your support?
I mean, I had, you know, Jada and my husband, and you know, so I had the family, but I usually had my coach, my physio, and that was it. I think most of the time. Also, like I said,
thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Who helped me my day-to-day kind of schedule, and
please.
So that ticks off a few people in the box.
Love 15. $15 all. $30-15.
There's a rather large battle of wills going on out here between two very determined athletes.
I love Johanna's body language in between points as well. She stays very positive.
solid.
Really moving her from side to side. That last
15.
point.
Is that really what's required to break up the game of Vekic and crack the set open?
Yep, I think that's going to be the key for Johanna today, to really stick to that game plan. Times she attacked through the middle.
40-30.
Last shot, and then the one before that, straight at her.
Is that a way that you would tackle Jo if you were out there on centre court? Through the middle?
I never used to use that shot, really. I just like to make sure that I finished it off if I could. But a lot of players, it's a smart choice, because a lot of players decide to pick a side anyway.
And we go. So just a couple of minutes shy of the hour. And Carter knew, just saw Kim, you pointed out Carter was on the phone, and I think someone's been taken a little unwell in one of the stands just opposite the umpire. It was right in his eye line, and it is a very warm afternoon. We saw this a lot at the French Open.
They're right in the sun too.
Yeah, but it's okay. The stewards are there very quickly, within seconds.
Go boy.
This person who was like is just being led away, but really quick action by the stewards there, and a good spot by Carter Nooney, just pulling the players into the chair.
6 games on, first set and tiebreak.
And I'm sure the person affected will get some immediate medical treatment. St John's Ambulance always on standby here. A wonderful relationship with the club. A lot of support for all the fans, the thousands and thousands that come through the gates every day. So the set deserves a tiebreak.
Where do you think this will go, Sam?
Oh, I'm staying well away from that. This is your job, Kim. I just call the score. First blow to Konta.
I think the way Jo has been playing these last few games, since she was set points down, like we saw with the return, being a little bit more speed added to her shots. She's stepped up and she's really going for it. So I think Jo is going to get this one.
Well, there aren't too many clues from their tiebreak records this year if you are remotely interested in such things. Jo has only won 3 from 8, and Donna's won 4 from 10. And actually lost the opening set tiebreak in her first round match here.
Miss Vekic. 2-all.
Smart serve there to the body.
3-2, Miss Vekic.
Only 21 Vekic, but only just turned 21, but has been on the tour for at least 5 or 6 seasons. Kim, in a tie break, what do you really have to focus on? Is there anything in particular that you really have to sort of knuckle down on?
Well, I think you want to try and keep your focus, and because you know how important it is to win that tie break, to win that first set. But so you don't want that emotion to take over some nerves or a little bit of added pressure on you. You just want to keep going the way you're going, and so sometimes a lot of players they get a little bit more stressed out there because they know, okay, this is the time I'm going to have to play well, and it almost has the opposite effect.
And every point counts.
Every point counts.
Well in excess of 80% of the matches on tour and at the slams are won by the person who wins the first set. It is crucial.
Miss Konta.
Here we see it perfectly how she moves her to the backhand into the open, out to the backhand and then into the open court with that backhand down the line from Jo. That was very, very nice to see.
Fall. For Miss Konta.
It's the first to 7 points with 2 points clear. And Jo with a couple of serves to come now.
Than it is.
6-4, Miss Konta.
2 set points for the British number 1. What a comeback from Konta. It's Great Britain 1, Croatia 0 as Konta takes the opening set by 7 games to 6.
7 games to 6.
Well, I think Kim and I need a breather after that. Kim, we're stuck in the... Well, we're very happy to be here in the centre court commentary box, but it'd be nice to have a cup of tea or something, wouldn't it? After
I'm already happy with the air conditioning in here.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a very, very high level first set. I think both girls really pushed each other to the limit. And the way that Jo reacted when she was 2 set points down at 5-4 was very impressive to me. She stayed very, very positive, even more positive than Donna Vekic out there. Yeah, a lot of good things. I'm curious to see if she can keep that going, and to see how Donna will react after such a close first set. Because I think the previous match they played, it was a pretty easy first match for
Jo was well in control, first set, and then the second two were very tight. In fact, they played a breaker in the second set, and Vekic won that one. Glorious day here at Wimbledon. We already actually, Kim, I don't think you can believe this, we actually had a mini heat wave in the middle of June.
We had it in Belgium as well.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And we've got another one here for the next couple of days. Vekic has headed off for a bathroom break or a change of kit, so we'll have a slightly longer than normal than the 2-minute delay. I think there's a ladies' powder room, isn't there, just behind? Just behind, so it shouldn't be too long. Just while we're looking at this court, Kim, you've played on it so often. How does it differ in terms of playability and just environment to the other courts here at Wimbledon?
It's definitely a court that you would like to play on a lot, because you have to get used to the different environments. And unfortunately, you don't get that choice. But it's an amazing court, and just from the moment that you leave your locker room, whether you're in the downstairs locker room or upstairs, it's very special, and it even builds up your nerves and the emotions a little bit. But it's a part of history, and I remember as a little girl seeing Steffi Graf take the walk and walking out on center court, and then when you get to be in that position yourself, it really does something to you. And
of course, Kim, you came back for the opening and the closing of the roof a few years ago.
Yeah, that invitation actually helped me restart my my comeback. So
you and Tim against Steffi and Andre. What a day that was!
It was amazing. A lot of really good memories, and one of them was actually that Andre hit me very hard, straight onto my stomach. I was really close to the net, and he just smacked it as hard as he could, and I didn't even have time to react to a volley.
Thank you. Second set, Miss Konta to serve. Number 15.
She saw that very well, Donna. She saw that Jo was a little bit stepping back from the baseline, and pulled her in with that drop shot.
Love 30. 40.
Well, it was such an intense opening set, and I just wonder if that, in that the break where Vekic went off, it doesn't really help the player that's sat there. All that lactic acid building up.
And also, for Jo, after
15,
winning such a
40.
tight first set, you sit down and you feel a little bit relaxed and relieved that you won it, and it's sometimes it takes a little time to get yourself back into it.
Opening game certainly went a little awry. Great response from Vekic.
First game, second set.
We could be in for we could be in for a long one here.
So far, the match has already been going for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yep.
So,
well, we got you in here,
a lot
Kim.
of matches have, are probably finished already.
We didn't promise you a short match. Now, one of the features of this centre court is the raw box, and you can just see on the right, looking at his programme, is former England cricket captain Andrew Strauss, and I believe Bob Willis is here as well today. So there is very much a sporting theme. And if you like your cricket, Kim, I know this might just wash over you a little, but England-South Africa starts tomorrow morning from Lords. And if you like your Radio 5 Live Extra Test match special team will be there from 10:25. So make sure you tune in just before Wimbledon.
Love.
Well, Jo, the 6th seed here up against the world number 58. Donna just one ranking spot off her career high, and I think the great illustration of the depth now these days in women's tennis.
Let the service.
Seen so many high quality first round matches. This is a second round match.
People actually ask me about, especially but they ask my opinion about how the women's draw is so open, and after what happened in Paris, Ostapenko winning, and I think it's a great thing. I think it's great to see who will step up and take their chance.
Well, it is now, Kim. You've retired. You wouldn't have liked it back in the day.
No, true.
Yeah, this strength and depth business is fine. Now you've got your Grand Slam titles.
Well, but there is a lot of people who then say, why don't you come back? But no, that's definitely not happening.
I think your husband and 3 children might might have something to say about that.
Yeah.
G30.
So when you play a girl who likes to be aggressive from the first shot onwards in the rally, it's so important, like what Jo is doing, that she really maybe goes a little bit out of her comfort zone, but takes a little bit more of a risk from the return.
Advantage, Miss Vekic.
Well, it's as if Donna Vekic left all these little drop shots in her locker in the downstairs player room, changing room, and when she went for a bathroom break, she's come and brought them back with her. It's long, and that's a very good hold from Vekic.
Miss Vekic leads 2 games to love.
Very different look to the start of this second set.
Love. Love.
Well, I'm hearing that there are flying ants all over Wimbledon at the moment. I think some of the fans in the centre court will be using their actual fans to bat them away.
Let for service.
It's something about when the queen ant leaves the nest.
We have a good view. We can see a lot of them.
There are hundreds of them flying everywhere.
I'm sure some of them will get hit by a ball.
Love. Miss Konta.
Love hold. Greatly needed by Johanna Konta. She's a breakdown in the second set, but she took the first on a tiebreak. I don't think we've ever had flying ants at Wimbledon.
Not that I can remember.
I'll see what is quite interesting. I just heard that there was a call go out for
Find this quickly, please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Time.
I didn't realise it was an official day. I've got some very effective ant powder in my garage at home.
Thank you.
I think it's probably there isn't really quite enough time to nip back and get it, but it's very effective.
Take the first seat available, please, ladies and gentlemen. Players are waiting for you. Thank you. Low 15.
Great inside out backhand from Joe there.
Low 30.
Very little seems to knock Jo off her stride. Spent quite a few years working with a top sports psychologist. And seems to apply herself very much in the mental part of the game.
Low 40.
What's happening here, Kim?
Well, I think it was a great hold from Joe in the previous game at 2-love to go to 2-1, and during the change of ends, I actually saw Donna like hold her head back and almost be just a negative body language during the change of ends, and whereas Joe just stays.
No,
just missed it. She just stays very positive, even if she misses or she's down 2-love, or she just
14.
hangs in there, stays very, very focused, and really doesn't give anything away, body language-wise or tennis-wise, and just hangs in there. And I think that's is maybe worrying Donna Vekic a little bit.
$30-40.
Vekic, though, after dropping that opening set, competing really hard here.
Let second service.
It's a break back, and Konta levels up in this second set.
Two games all, second set.
A fascinating second round encounter in progress on this centre court, and Jo Konta looking every inch the top 10 player that she's become over the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, for sure.
Low 15.
What makes this serve so good?
I think the placement. It's not like it's the fastest serve around, but she places her serve very well.
Yeah, average first serve speed around about 105 miles an hour.
Let first service.
Around about the same for Vekic. She's up at 106. All sounds pretty fast to me.
Yeah. Those heavy ground strokes, she really keeps Jo, like she pushes her back, and then once she gets a little short of ball, she tries to step in and open it up and go for the lines. Just changed her mind at the end there.
Couple of breaks in the opening set, 2 in the second. Might be another one just around the corner. Vekic back in charge in this second set. It's another break. And Croatia now leading by 3 games to 2 in the second set.
3 games to 2. Second set. First set, Miss Konta.
Kim, just away from this match, Serena Williams not here this year on maternity leave. She says she's coming back pretty soon after having the baby. You played after having Jada. Well, how long do you think it'll take her to get back, and I mean, how's she going to cope with it all?
I saw some images of her hitting
please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
A couple of days ago. I think she posted something where she's practicing, and she's 7 months pregnant. So I think the biggest difference, and a lot of people ask me about my opinion and what I think will happen, and I think the biggest difference is when I was pregnant, I didn't think I was going to play tennis again. So I was away from the game for about 2 years, and like Azarenka, Serena also, you know, they both said, yeah, I'm coming back as soon as I can after I have the baby, and so I'm curious to see how she'll do and how she'll react body-wise as well.
I think they might have your number on speed dial, Kim. You might be getting a few messages.
I doubt it.
Thank you.
Vekic up a break once more in the second set.
Hello, 15. Hello, 13.
Just overhitting it. These last couple of unforced errors that she hit. The level has been very high, and I think they feel like at times they need to take a risk to go for, you know, to win the point. So chalk fly up there.
15.
Now you have been away a while.
No, it's not chalk
it's
anymore,
not chalk
right?
anymore.
I heard it was something different. Is
It's one of the oxide families, titanium oxide. It's just so it lasts a little longer.
Okay. But it still fluffs up, right? I saw some white dust come up.
15, 40.
But the great thing is, even though that happens, there's still a line there. 2 break-back points here for Konta.
I remember back in the day when
30,
I first started,
40.
and when I played juniors, there were courts where you could hardly see a line, or it was so. That's another thing that has improved since I've been gone.
Deuce.
This is tough from Vekic. Trying not to let Konta come back at her once again.
3 great serves
Advantage.
to get back
Miss
into
Vekic.
an advantage for Donna.
This is very good from someone who was ranked outside the world's top 100 at the start of the year. Has been playing a lot of qualifying of some of the major tour events. And that is a very good hold.
Miss Vekic. Miss Vekic leads 4 games to 2. Second set.
So quite an assignment here for Konta. 5-3 down, a couple of set points down that opening set, and now at 2-4 in the second.
What is something positive that I really like to see is
15
that Donna,
low.
you can tell that she's not even thinking about what happened in the first set anymore. She's really regrouped and she's focused on just really trying to win this set again and then try to get it into the third set. Great hitting.
Thirty love. Love.
Konta refuses to let Vekic get too far away. But it's still the Croatian upper break in this second set.
4 games to 3. Second set. First set. Miss Konta.
Now, if you've popped out to your garden this afternoon or out to a balcony or even stuck the head out the office window, you will know it's steaming hot. And this is a sight that we normally see down in Australia, Kim. The return of the ice towel, which I don't think we have too often at Wimbledon. Just explain what the ice towel or ice snake is and what it does.
So there's ice cubes inside of it's towels, wrapped in towels, and they close them off on both ends so that they don't fall out, of course. And they make them wet and they keep them in the fridge or in the freezer for as long as they can, and they during the change events they take them out if you would like them. And let me tell you, they feel great when you when you come out, and especially in Australia also when you're playing on hard court and the heat is also coming from the court. It just feels really nice to just cool off your legs and put them around your neck and keep your head cool for a little bit. So it's you do look forward to that little moment of rest and a little bit of cooling down when you can during the match.
Yes, they were just made up very quickly in the ladies' lower dressing room. There's vats and vats of ice then. That's not for the minibar, by the way.
No.
That's for all our injuries.
So it's not the players actually who prepare them.
Yeah,
it's
the trainers, yeah.
The trainers
well, they had to
do that for us.
They had to very quickly do an impromptu one because players weren't ready. That would never happen in Australia. Okay, Vekic for break in this second set.
Love. Love.
It's very, very tough shot to handle. They're so deep and low, hard, flat. You just have to stay really, really low, and even at times just try to block them if you can.
40.
A lot of girls use that shot straight down the middle. Try to go really deep and straight. A lot of times after the first serve of the player, they like to go through the middle of the court.
Vekic.
Two comfortable holds from both girls in the last two games.
Vekic leads 5-3. Second set.
This has turned into a real arm wrestle. The player really refusing to budge. Over an hour for the first set. But Konta finds herself in the same position as in the first, serving at 3-5.
Love. Love.
serve.
40, love.
The drop shots are back.
40-15.
It's a tactic quite a few players do use against Johanna Konta, bringing her in on their terms.
I think it's also the combination of the powerful ground strokes, and then, you know, to surprise her a little bit, to keep her aware that, you know, she's capable of mixing it up a little bit out there.
Also throws her off her rhythm for the next point.
Yeah.
Still got a game point here.
Deuce. Advantage, Miss Konta.
Well, you can't take your eyes off this match. The intensity and the tempo, as you call it, Kim, hasn't dropped for even a second out here.
Not at all.
Super tough. Johanna Konta keeps herself in the second set.
Miss Vekic leads 5-4. Second set. First set, Miss Konta. Find your seats quickly, please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Time.
Everyone out on Henman here. Well, Joe needs your support right now. Vekic served for the first. Couldn't close out. Here she is.
Thank you.
Serving for the second set to level this match.
Players are ready. Please. Thank you. Love.
Few wobbles here from Vekic. Better from Konta, who has actually dropped her ground stroke speed in this second set. That is a significant reduction.
It is.
Let for service.
Oh, what poise.
That's the combination that you try to practice on a lot when you get to Wimbledon or before Wimbledon, is that outside, the serve out to the outside, and then open up in the into the open court. So it was a perfect example.
It's long, and what a fight back from Croatia's Donna Vekic. She levels the match and takes the second set by 6 games to 4. They've just gone for a break. The heat rule isn't in because Cardinudi would have said at the start, OK, the heat rule's in because they take the readings 3 times a day. They have it in the women's event, but not the men's. But it's not in today. But Kim, this is a long time, isn't it?
It is a long time. So it will almost turn into a heat break,
which is 10 minutes.
10 minutes. We've been at 6 minutes so far. So
yeah, Sue, it's an unofficial heat rule.
And to have a little break like this is always tough for the person who's going to have to start serving at the beginning of the set. To kind of lose your rhythm a little bit. You've been sitting down. So that's why sometimes you see players grab a few balls and just hit some serves anyway, just to try and keep their arm warm, or to just try and to stay into a rhythm. Here she comes. It's almost like this match deserved a third set, because the level has been so high and these girls have both been playing some really good tennis.
And it will be Konta to serve, and the All England Club keep it very, very simple. Drink water, apply sunscreen, and wear a hat was the message from the scoreboard just a few minutes ago while the players were off. So just as they did in Nottingham, a third set to decide the outcome of this second round match.
Final set.
Just had a look over to Donna Vekic, her box. It was nice to see Stan cheer her on a little bit and motivate her.
Love.
What's the plan here, Kim, for Konta?
I think what helped her win that first set, and like we saw with the statistics, that she was just taking a little bit of speed off her ground stroke. I think she needs to make sure that she stays aggressive enough and that she keeps putting enough variety into the direction of her shots.
And 40, love.
It's been a 50-50 on matches when they've gone the distance this year. Won 6, lost 6. That's a really good start to this deciding set. Emphatic service game from the British number 1.
First game, final set. Love 15. Miss Konta on the left service line. The ball was called in.
There's been very few Hawkeye challenges out here this afternoon. The calling's been excellent. They got it right that time as well.
15-all. Miss Konta has 2 challenges remaining.
Kadir was always one of my favorite chair umpires.
He gets away with the shades. I don't think anyone else could.
Slip there from Joe.
30-15.
This court playing extremely well, though. It's going to be baked hard over the next few days as we head into the first weekend. This is what happens, Kim, when you're right at the top. Everyone scrutinises you, where the little weaknesses, and certainly the playbook on Konta is, bring her in when you can. Yep. Vekic has done that very well since the end of that first set. And the 21-year-old going very nicely here.
Miss Vekic, new ball please. Ball change. 1 game all. Final set.
And all the excitement, we seem to have forgotten about the flying ants, but I think they've forgotten about the centre court. They've gone somewhere else, I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's only a few left, I think.
Of course, we're hermetically sealed in our...
The Queen has flown off somewhere else.
She might have headed to court 14 or somewhere. We're beautifully sealed in our commentary box.
Yep.
Perfect temperatures in here. And you forget how hard it is playing in these conditions, particularly when you've got little flying insects all over the place. But they've definitely gone somewhere else. Maybe they've got an ant whisperer here at the club. It wouldn't surprise me. Some friendly fire from Vekic. It's been played in a very good spirit.
Even before the match, when they were waiting inside, they were talking and laughing a little bit with each other, so it was nice to see.
Love.
It's another clean service game from Konta. Looking very positive at the start of this final set.
Final set.
This match into its third hour now. Kim, when it's this tight and there's nothing between, yes, there's been a few service breaks here and there, what usually decides it?
Well, I think what was very important to me was knowing that I did enough work in the off-season, or in the preparation leading up to a big tournament like this, where you know that first of all, you don't have to worry about being fit enough to handle these circumstances, the heat, playing a match that's going over 3 hours, or about to go to
we're just over 2.
Over 2 hours, yeah.
But Kim, we could be here for 3. We're just giving you a gentle introduction to the centre court this year at the BBC.
But I think that's something that is a great feeling to have, is knowing that, okay, I've done workouts with my trainer, with my fitness coach that are a lot harder than this. So you only have to worry about the tennis part, which is already a lot to worry about. So yeah, so at the same time, you just try to keep things simple and just focus on what you have to do in court. But
Seats, please. Thank you.
you know, what I've admired the most about Jo today is the body language. You really can't tell whether she's up or down and whether she won. You know, her reaction after losing that second set was the same as after she won the first set.
15 love. To love. And 40 love.
Just 1 point's been lost behind serve in this deciding set.
2 games all. Final set.
This set is looking more like a men's match so far.
Set. Now you pull for Konta to win that first set. Kim, you got any feelings about who will be progressing here? You seem quite happy to plump for one or the other.
Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, my feeling goes towards Konta, but we'll see how she deals with the pressure.
The 15 love.
But I could be wrong.
To love.
Again, she used that drop shot very, very smartly. She feels that Jo is just retrieving a little bit, taking a step back from her position behind the baseline, and it's some very smart choices she's making there.
Almost in double figures now for aces in this match. So really dominating in the decider, and Konta pushes ahead once more. She leads by 3-2, final set.
3-2, final set.
Now, around this court, there's all the Hawkeye cameras that compute all the information that's going on, and Kim, there's quite a stark difference between what Konta was, where she was hitting the ball in the first set to where she was hitting the ball in the second and third sets.
It is. It's it may not look like a big difference, but it's definitely something that Donna is feeling as well. She's definitely started using her drop shots a little bit more. She feels that Konta is a little bit further back behind the baseline, and so she feels that, and she's been using that drop shot really well. So I think if Jo wants to try and stay on top of this third set, she will have to just step in, maybe just one step closer. But again, it's maybe easier said than done, because those shots from Vekic are coming to her very, very hard and flat. So
quickly,
maybe she just wants to give herself a little bit more time as well. But you just have to make sure that you still put enough pressure on your opponent. And it's sometimes a little bit harder to do when you're a little bit further behind the baseline.
Players are ready? Thank you. In love. To love.
Wow. Well, she had to be very careful there. That not only does she not touch the net, but Kim, you're also not allowed to lean over the net, are you, and go fetch the ball. You have to wait for the ball to come over the tape, and Carter Nooney, the umpire, right on that line. He can see you.
She knew she had to be careful.
She was careful, and she knew Carter was in the chair. He was not going to miss that one. That would have felt good.
(40-15).
Well, we showed you what was happening to Jo's court position in the comparison to the sets. This is Vekic.
So now the question is, what happened first? Did Joe take a step back, which made Donna step in and be a little bit more aggressive, or did Joe step back because Donna started stepping in a little bit more? So all interesting stats. I wish I had some of these when I was playing out on court, because it does help you a lot.
Love 15.
Don't they always talk about the importance of the 7th game in the set?
Back in the day they did.
Yeah.
In the era
when
of,
I was little, they used to always talk about it.
In the era of Dan Maskell, who you
Okay.
probably heard when you were growing up
Yeah.
in Belgium. Actually, originally it was Bill Tilden who spoke about that for the first time. But whoever said it, it's pretty important.
15-0.
Bill Tilden, the great American player of the 30s and 40s.
And 30-15.
She saw Donna pick a side here. She ran off to the right. I was able to just hit an easy shot into the open court. Wow.
40-15.
She needed to adjust there a little bit with the net court, but she really handled it well.
Well, not even a glimpse of a break in this deciding set. And once again, Joe Konta pushes ahead. 4-3, she leads on serve in this final set.
Final set. Find your seats quickly, please. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Yes, I think there's going to be an awful lot of barley water drunk this afternoon. You probably don't know what that is, Kim, but it's what we grew up on in this country.
And what is it?
Well, it's kind of a sort of lemon squash.
Oh, okay.
I think you can get it in a few different flavours. And it's one of the very few sponsors that you'll see on this centre court. As you'll notice, there's well, they don't really have advertising. It's one of the things that's really special. Another thing that's very special and unique about this championships. But you can't go wrong with a drop of barley water.
Okay. No, I have to try it.
And serve final set.
Love.
I think it's worth remembering that Donna Vekic just won off her career high ranking of 58 in the world. She's only ever had one other top 10 win. That was against Dominika Sibylkova, although beat Konta at Nottingham, as we've mentioned a couple of weeks ago. But she's not someone that has regularly beaten the world's best. She's out here on the biggest of stages, and this is a 50-50 contest right now. She is playing one of the matches of her life.
And really serving very well.
40.
Matching Joe in the ace department, 9 apiece.
Where, please?
There's just a piece of paper that just floated onto court underneath our commentary box, quickly swept by the ball girl.
To 15.
Looks like the ants have come back a little bit. See that both players trying to hit them off their arm.
They're back.
They're back.
They heard us talking.
Game. Vekic.
Familiar theme with that service hold from Vekic. Very comfortable. No break so far in this deciding set.
Donna's just putting on some bug spray, I think.
It is steaming out there. Even the ball boys and ball girls from the local schools in their Foreign Legion hats, of course made very popular back in the day by Ivan Lendl. He used to play his matches in them down in Australia.
Vekic is challenging the call on the left baseline. The ball was called in.
Well, between them, Vekic and Konta, they are 0 for 4 on challenges. Make that 0 for 5. The linesmen and women of the centre court have done a stellar job this afternoon. As we get to the business end of this final set, it might be worth mentioning that neither woman has ever been beyond the second round. Konta losing last year to Jeannie Bouchard. That was when she recorded her very first win at Wimbledon in the first round. And Vekic made the second round here 3 years ago. So both trying to enter new territory.
That's actually pretty funny because she's seen as one of the favorites to win this year.
Love.
Wow, well that is just
40-15.
the third point behind her serve, behind Konta's serve in this final set that she's dropped. Vekic has only lost 3. It has been dominated by that weapon. Yet another easy service hold as Konta edges ever closer to a place in the 3rd round.
Miss Konta leads 5-4, final set.
Kim, how hard is it breaking new territory when you're either going into 3rd round of a slam for the first time, 1st Grand Slam final? What keeps your head together?
Well, I don't think for the player, I don't think it's hard. It's just there's just so much talk about it.
So we make a big deal of it,
so.
But for them, it's
it's okay. For Jo, it's a different situation. Playing here at Wimbledon, because she obviously she's playing at home, but yeah, we know that it's another tournament, and it's hard to win your matches, and you just really try to focus on trying to play good tennis and try not to get distracted by everything else that's happening around you and what people are talking about, and people putting you in favorite positions or penciling you in the semifinals or finals of Grand Slams. And I used to get questions asked like that all the time in the press room, even before the tournament started. A potential quarterfinal against Justine or a semifinal against Serena, and they made me laugh because it's hard to win and to get to those situations. So you don't want to get distracted, and you just really try to keep all your focus on winning each round.
2.5 hours of a thrilling contest. Vekic now serving to stay in the 2nd round.
Great second serve.
15, love. To love. No.
I don't know how good a tennis watcher Stan is. He's shifting around quite a lot in his chair.
He probably wasn't expecting to be out here for 2.5 hours.
Game.
Well,
what an easy hole.
He must be very proud of Donna.
Here's Vekic.
She levels up with yet another love service hold. You said the first set deserved a tie break, and I almost think we won't get that in the final set. They'll have to go the distance.
Good acceleration with the arm there.
Yeah, It's a fabulous camera, isn't it? The Exmo. It's about 1,000 frames per second for that shot. An average TV camera, about 25 frames per second.
$15.
Oh, clever from Konta.
$30-15. $40-15.
Forehand.
40-30.
Down the line. A couple points ago it was a backhand winner down the line.
Yep, Vekic happy to take a few more risks now. Trying to make something happen here.
Just pushed her back a little bit with that deeper, higher shot. So I just sent it short a little bit, and she stepped in, finished it off.
First game
like
in
I
this.
said, she's trying to go for it a little bit more here.
Yeah, first game in this decisive. It's Konta juice. Real pressure here for Konta.
Great serve.
The advantage, Miss Konta.
Never in doubt, so solid, the British #1. And she's ahead once more in this final set. We're on serve. Konta leading by 6 games to 5.
Final set. Nibbles, please. Thank you.
Come on, give us a wave. Long afternoon on Henman Hill. Hope you're all enjoying yourselves.
when I arrived this morning to practice with the girl that I'm helping here, with Janina Wickmeyer, we saw all the people run to Henman Hill or Murray Mount. What do you call it these days?
I think it's still Henman Hill.
Henman Hill,
by
okay,
last
that's
count.
how I knew it. But they just ran up and tried to get the best seat up there, and it was packed pretty quickly. So.
For many, it is the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when Konta gets up at Henman Hill, just to the north really of this centre court, I'm sure when Konta comes out, there'll be an enormous roar from the hill. This has just been such a wonderful contest, absorbing all of your Wednesday afternoon.
Thank you.
Vekic here for a second time with new balls now, serving to stay in this match.
Love.
It's the first time that I've actually seen her look over to her box a little bit and be a little bit distressed with a mistake that she's made.
It's magnificent.
30 love.
15th forehand winner for Vekic. The pair of them have hit almost 100 winners in their match so far. It's and very few unforced errors. A high quality contest. Are they winning this so easily?
Well, they both are serving well.
It's as simple as that, is it?
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not overanalyze it.
No. Wow.
Game.
Both have been icing their service games with aces. And Stan can just sit a little more comfortably now as his girlfriend levels up 6 games all. Final set. On we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the number of challenge reset to 3 for both players.
Yes, and the player boxes, they have to sit there as well. They can't go anywhere.
At least they're sitting in the shade.
Yeah.
Love 15. Oh, what a point. And Konta at love 30 now.
Really great tennis. We're seeing
Love 30.
The ball just skimming the net.
great pickup. It was a great return from Vekic. She
15-30.
She got to it and kept it really low, so made it hard for Donna with that shot. She's like to use that serve out wide on that side of the court.
30-all.
Fabulous combination hitting from Donna Vekic, and it brings up the very first break point of this deciding set. Not a flicker from Konta going into this match. All the confidence from winning in Sydney and a huge title in Miami. Also that semi-final at Eastbourne, final in Nottingham. Everything in the balance right here.
Advantage, Miss Konta.
Dad Garbo in the stripy top. Mum Gabrielle, I think he's probably watching this on TV. And they'll see their daughter put together a tremendous hold. Konta hangs on in this final set. It's a relief from the player box.
Miss Konta leads 7-6, final set.
So the linesmen get a little break. Get switched.
Yeah, players can have a break. Ball kids and ball boys and ball girls, but we're still here, Kim.
Yep.
Getting to, and it's a pleasure to watch this. It really is a privilege. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, I mean, what is going to decide this? I know it's a horrible question, but I have to ask it.
I was just looking a little bit because I saw that there was a little bit of conversation or sign language going on between Joe and Wim, her coach, and it's like she was asking almost like, "What can I do?
Yeah.
What can I do?"
How do I break?
Yeah, and he was like, "Keep it easy, keep it simple." There's not much you can say, from the side.
You know Wim, you've known him for all these years, he worked with you. What do you think he might be saying?
I think he would just try to keep her calm. I mean, there's really nothing you can say instead. I think he signed his 2 hands to the front a little bit, and so I think maybe he meant just make sure you step into the return. Don't play them too defensively.
There hasn't been a break since the 5th game of the 2nd set.
Thank you. Please.
Vekic,
Players are ready. Thank
for
you.
the 3rd time serving to stay in this final set.
Love 15.
Just a little tumble.
15-0.
Nothing like what happened at Eastbourne last week. Which is all okay. If you didn't see what happened at Eastbourne, well, it was a couple of points before beating Angie Kerber. She absolutely went a flyer right on her back, couldn't get her hand down. Oh, Vekic.
$15-30.
There's a little frustration in that last shot.
30-0.
And she's very much held her emotions in check, Donna, but there is a fire inside.
Yeah, there is.
Net, second service.
Well, you have to admire the nerve of this young Croatian.
40-30. Game. Miss Vekic. 7 games all. Final set.
Big reaction from Vekic. And neither woman is budging here.
It's amazing.
Please. Thank you. Love 15.
That's far out. Is that deep return again that set that last winner up.
30.
Good serve.
$15, 30. Vekic on the right, near the line, the ball was got in.
Well, the hopeful challenge here from Vekic. I'm not thinking that Cardone just hadn't bothered with the Hawkeye. Yeah, it's plumb.
And a good serve
30
out wide. She's used that serve very well.
2 challenges remaining.
So Konta back from love 30. Still under huge pressure in this game. Oh, magnificent.
I think I would have challenged that one, though.
40, 30.
What resilience from Jo Konta. Still on serve in this final set. Konta ahead once more.
8-7. Final set.
He was so passionate about this sport, wanted to be a tennis player from professional tennis player since he picked up the game at 6 years of age, growing up on the beaches of Sydney down in Australia.
Time.
Moved to England with her parents at age 14, and everything has been about her becoming the best tennis player in the world.
Do you know what the reason was why she wanted to change nationalities?
Thank you.
Because Australia has a very big tennis history as well, so.
I think she lost the support of Tennis Australia.
Oh, really?
And I think they decided it was time for a move.
Okay.
Love 15.
Chance.
Love 30.
They know.
Yep.
Vekic desperately needs a first serve here.
And she does.
$15, 30.
Neither player deserves to lose this one.
No.
Their resilience has been extraordinary out here. Almost 3 hours they've been on this centre court this afternoon.
30. Let for service.
Three great serves. Just like Konta in the previous game. They were down, and they come up with some really big serves to turn it around in the game.
On we go. Both having to come back from love 30 in the last service games. Both players just trying to find some shade. Most of it's down at the north end where they park the roof, so the lower box and the player boxes are all covered up. She's got it.
Oh, she got it.
Love 30.
Once again, for a second successive game, Konta at love 30.
And again, she comes up with a great serve.
15, 13.
We're going to have a flip a coin at this rate.
I wonder how many times Andy Murray has been warming up in the last few hours. She tries again.
Well, both are running out of options. They're desperate to try and decide this final set. This match into its fourth hour. Vekic, who had a great point in the 13th game, has got one more here. Could it be decisive?
Great second serve, out wide.
Deuce.
So you've got to remember they've been playing in what is for Great Britain extreme temperatures, high of 27 degrees today. You would never know it by the way these two are going at it.
Miss Konta.
You sense millimeters are going to decide the outcome of this match.
And I watched Stan's reaction, and he's feeling it too.
Advantage, Miss Konta.
Konta composed as ever, hangs on. What a difficult service game that was for the British number one. Once again ahead in this final
Miss
set.
Konta leads 9-8. Final set.
Well, it's all very comfortable for us in our climate-controlled commentary box. It must be brutal out there. Kim, is it going to be physical, mental, emotional? I mean, what would you think would be the deciding factor out here? And what time are we going to be able to go for tea?
Yeah, no, I think it's a combination of all three things. A little bit of luck maybe can come into play as well. But yeah, still I'm still going. I still think that Konta is going to end up pulling it her way, but just because she seems more consistent. Donna has been playing great tennis, and when she's been down in her serves games, especially the last two, she's done well, she's served well, but I don't know if she's going to be able to keep that going. So
time.
We'll see. I'm very, very curious.
Well, it's going to be a very long afternoon for the British tennis fan. Andy Murray up next, but that's the problem with tennis. You never know. It's not like a football match.
I think Andy would have had 2 pre-game meals by now.
And plenty of stretching for a 5th time. Vekic serving to stay in this second round match.
Low 15.
Nice start to the game. Great hitting, really stepping in there and taking it to Vekic.
Love 30.
So once again, just 2 points away from the win.
$15, 30. Thank you.
That second serve was coming to the forehand.
It has been a battle royale.
Please.
Match point for Konta. Oh.
It's that easy.
Well, they had a titanic battle a couple of weeks ago up on the grass of Nottingham, 7-5 in the final set. This is surpassing even that contest.
Let for service.
She's got another chance.
Advantage, Miss Konta. Please. Yes, and a match, Miss Konta.
What a battle!
2-6 to
What
1.
resilience!
7-6, 4-6, 10-8.
Both acknowledging what a contest this has been over the last 3 hours. You can never write the script for a tennis match.
This was almost the perfect script. It was, I mean, we were very lucky. We saw some great tennis. Both girls played, I think, their highest level. They really bring it out of each other. So,
and what's more, we saw a great sporting contest as well. Vekic, the brilliant teenager who's coming back to her best. This will be a hard one to take, but she's shown us that all that potential we saw a few years ago, oh dear, she'll be back here. What a wonderful player. Well, Konta, you wouldn't think she'd played for over 3 hours. Little wave to the raw box.
And now into the gym to cool off.
Yeah. And Andy,
take an ice bath and stretch.
Andy can finally say, okay, I'm ready to go. I'm sure the centre court will want a break, but brilliant from Konta through to the third round for the very first time at Wimbledon in 6 attempts. Kim, it's been great having your company.
Thanks.
It was quite an initiation.
Johanna, what a great match that was. Can you describe how satisfying a performance that was from you?
Well, right now, to be honest, it hasn't quite sunk in. Right now, it's just it's a nice feeling not having to keep going out there. We were out there for a long time, and both of us battled incredibly hard. So, whoever was going to come out, whoever was going to draw the short straw was going to be hurting, and obviously, I feel very fortunate to have come through that.
You two have fought a couple of great battles now over the last couple of weeks. What were the qualities, do you think, that saw you over the line in the third set?
I think I overall trusted my game a bit more this time against her than I necessarily did last time. I think she actually played better today than she did last time, and the same goes for me. So I think the quality of the match today was very high. As you saw, she served incredibly well, so it was very difficult to return well out there for me. But I'm very happy to have saved a couple of those break points and also some of those love 30 on my service games. But overall, very happy to have come through.
It's great to have you in the third round at Wimbledon now for the first time. How much more is there to come from you in terms of your performance this year?
I'm looking to compete at my best every single match I get to play. I've given myself another opportunity to come back here at Wimbledon, play another round, and I'm going to give my all in that. I'm definitely here with the intention of wanting to be a part of the event for the full 2 weeks. But as you saw out there, every single player out here plays at a very high level on any given day. So there's no easy match, and I'm just very grateful to have another go.
Johanna, can you just describe how important the crowd was out there today for you?
Oh my gosh, they were incredible, and also the amount of respect they also show my opponent. And I think the crowd here at Wimbledon is truly quite magnificent, and the arena itself is one of the best in the world.
Very well played today. Many congratulations.
Thank you.